And welcome to another edition of WrestleTalk with 3 Goofballs. I'm James, and alongside me is Pat and Raceland. And we have a lot of things to talk about on this episode. We have the top 5 power rankings that WWE recently released this week. We also have the all-women's pay-per-view, first time in WWE history with Evolution, contracts coming up, and much more. And we're going to start this show by talking about the power rankings that WWE recently came out with. I believe it was late this week or even early this weekend. And the top 5 were this: Seth Rollins sitting at number 5, B-Team at 4, Samoa Joe at 3, Roman Reigns at 2, and at number 1, kind of a surprising one with Becky Lynch. So I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Pat. What did you kind of think with, what about the top 5 that WWE recently released, and what would you put as your top 5 if you don't agree with that?
Well, I agree with all in the top 5. However, I would have placed them differently. I had my top 5, again, same people that they had, but 5 Roman, 4 Samoa Joe. He established dominance with AJ Styles. 3 Seth Rollins, 2 B-Team. That win streak you can't argue with. Number 1, I still have Becky because she seems like the ultimate female right now on SmackDown.
Yeah, Becky's been on a winning streak as well, and
I believe 4-0 right now.
Yeah, so she's been doing really good on the SmackDown brand. She also just recently got the number 1 contendership to face Carmella at SummerSlam.
Yep.
And my list is not as different as what WWE's were. I got Samoa Joe at 5 instead. I put Reigns at 4, Becky Lynch at 3, B-Team at 2, and my number 1's AJ Styles. Don't laugh at me. And someone turn your phone off over there.
That was me.
It better be a rumor or something.
No, it's football.
Oh, well, we all love football.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Pat looked at me. You looked at me kind of funny when I had Styles at 1. But he's been champion, and he's been winning on SmackDown. His last match was against Andrade, and he ended up winning that match. B-Team, like you said, you can't argue with the winning streak. I had the 3 number 1 contenders, 3, 4, and 5. I think that's where they belong. Roman, it was hard putting him in the top 5 considering he lost to Lashley. Then 1 victory later, he's facing Lesnar again. Yeah. So that's my top 5, kind of a little bit shifted from what WWE had.
Yeah, well, reason I looked at you funny with AJ Styles is because, well, everybody expects him to obviously be good and be the champion, and that's why I didn't have him in the top 5. I mean, I expected from him. But Becky Lynch at number 1 because she's doing great things right now, and the Disarmer is lethal. Yeah,
the Disarmer has been proven to be a very lethal finisher. Racewin, what do you have going on in the top 5 here this week?
I don't know if I really agree with WWE's top 5. Honestly, I don't remember what Seth Rollins did this past week. Anybody remember? Because I don't.
He's got a match for the
He's got a rematch, match, which we'll get to later on in the show.
Yeah.
But I got it same as James. Different order, though. Number 5, I got the B-Team because it was not necessarily a fluke win, but it was an accidental win. Because, what was it? Bray got pushed into Matt or something like that.
Bray charged into
Matt.
No, it was Bray charged into Bo, and he went back to get Bo, and then he accidentally charged into Matt as Matt was trying to take care of Curtis.
Okay.
It was an accidental hit.
It was an accidental hit. So it was an accident. I don't want to say accidental victory for the B team, but it wasn't like a clean, clear, decisive victory because there was confusion going on and accidents happened. Number 4, Samoa Joe. How you can't not put Samoa Joe in your top 5, especially after his dominant performance this past week on SmackDown and then coming out from behind and choking out AJ Styles. Number 3 is Roman Reigns. I hate to put him there. But again, like James said, you can't not put him in there if he's going to go up against Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. I've got Becky Lynch at number 2. It's same reasons. Number 1 contender for the Women's Championship. She definitely, like you guys said, definitely proven herself for the past couple weeks. Finally, she's getting another chance after being in the shadows of everyone else for the past 6 months.
Yeah.
And then number 1 is AJ Styles. I don't need to explain much more on AJ Styles. James pretty much already did it all. He is the WWE champion, even though he didn't have a match. He got choked out by Samoa Joe on SmackDown. He's still the number 1 champion in the company right now. Mm-hmm. So there's definitely no need to put him any lower than 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. I see why Pat put Becky at 1, but I'm with you, Racing. I think it's hard not to put him at 1 just from what he's been able to do on SmackDown. And kind of going back, Seth Rollins was in a tag team match with his partner being Finn Balor going against Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. And that's kind of how he got the title match for SummerSlam, because I believe he's the one that actually pinned Ziggler for the victory.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what Seth Rollins did this week on Monday Night Raw. So appropriate you put him there in the top 5.
Right.
We're going to move on to the WWE Evolution pay-per-view. As you all know, it is an all-women's pay-per-view, first one in history. We're going to get into about who we want to see there and, what do we think should happen between all the women's wrestlers and what we would like to see match-wise. For me, I definitely would like to. I know it's very, very, very small chance, but I want to see AJ Lee come back. I really do. She was really good in the ring, but I don't see it happening because of the whole story with CM Punk and all that. But it's just something that I would like to see. She's really good, but a match that I really, really, really would like to see: Charlotte and Becky against Trish and Lita. That match would steal the show for me. I would love nothing more than that.
Well,
that's all they would have to have for me, and it would just instantly.
I know we kind of touched on tag teams and whatnot last week, but from what I'm hearing is it's going to be Trish versus Mickie James.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm surprised you didn't hear that. It's like all over social media.
I know, but I did hear that, but that's what I want.
Mickie has been petitioning for this pretty much since it got announced last week. I'm sure she probably wanted to grab a mic and call out Trish Stratus right there on the entrance ramp.
Right. I don't doubt that she does that sometime in the near future.
But my problem is with that match, and I think my problem is we've seen that before in the later, like a long time ago, obviously. Make this something new. I mean, this is the first time ever thing, and as a ratings wise, we don't know how it's going to turn out. You got to bring interest. Why not put a legend like Trish against one of these newer women that can actually have a really good match?
And that's what I was thinking, was have the new people like Becky and Charlotte face, veterans like Trish and Lita.
Yeah.
And I think that would just be great. It would get the new guys over more.
Yeah.
I would think.
I agree, and I think that, but I mean, Mickie, when she comes out when you hear the clapping of her theme song that Rayson loves so much,
whatever.
Oh, don't lie to me. When that song comes on in the car, you go over there with a big old grin on your face.
He's dancing and stuff.
He is.
I am not.
I gotta contain him in the back seat like Rayson. It's okay. I can put it on repeat if you want me to. But no, it's just like she gets no reaction. So is that a match you really want for the WWE to happen? I mean, I get it. It's a blast from the past. A feud that was when Mickie James first started on the scene. But is that really a match you want?
Not at all. I don't want to see that match. Really?
Yeah, I want to see it again.
Oh, you want to see it again?
Because it is a blast from the past. Yeah, you can't just have new versus old, because that's going to get boring.
I agree, do that, but don't do it with those two.
So, Rayson, what do you want to see in this pay-per-view?
Like Pat said, I want to see AJ Lee. The only way I think AJ Lee comes back is if Caitlyn wins the Mae Young Classic. I don't think she will.
I don't think so either.
No. I don't even know if she's going to sign with WWE again. I would like to see it because she's a good wrestler.
Right.
But I don't think she'll sign again. She's just now starting to get back into wrestling again.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult for her to come in and really win it. I mean, I've got a couple favorites. We'll talk about the Mae Young Classic later on down the road in another episode. But I other than seeing AJ Lee come back, the match I want to see the most would probably be, I'd like to see Asuka versus Shayna Baszler.
Ooh.
But I know it's not going to happen because Shayna Baszler is going to be defending the NXT Women's Championship. But I would like to see that match.
So
I agree with that.
So you think Shayna Baszler walks out of SummerSlam weekend with the title?
Do I think she does?
Yeah.
From NXT, yeah.
Because she's facing Kairi Sane, I believe.
Unless she's going to get called up, yes.
Could.
I mean, she very well could be. She
Could
very
be.
well could be. I mean,
She definitely has proved herself.
Right.
yeah. I mean, she's put on decent matches.
I'm more of a fan of Shayna Baszler than I am of Ronda Rousey. I can tell you that much right now.
Well, and I mean, I don't know if you guys heard this. It's kind of a little off topic, but the remaining 2 of the 4 horsewomen of the UFC side, kind of the whole WWE UFC 4 horse, they made their debuts this weekend.
I saw one of them. I didn't see.
Yep.
I believe both of them. One of them definitely did. I don't know. There's rumors going around that the other one is supposed to debut really soon, if not already.
Because I know one of them is Roderick Strong's wife.
Yes.
I know she just made her debut.
Yeah, and the other one, I you know how rumors can go. I've heard rumors that she's already has debuted on a live event, and then the other one's saying she's going to debut very soon.
I haven't seen anything on it yet, so I don't know.
So that's speculation, you know.
If anything, that will be, if not WrestleMania, a SummerSlam next year, between the 4, or maybe even a Survivor Series next year where you can do 4-on-4 elimination style match.
Yeah,
That'd be a decent one to put.
yeah. I mean that's true. I mean, I think it's more of a Mania match because they've been built. Yeah, the reason I say that is because they've been teasing it for a while now. Ever since Rousey came into the WWE scene.
I think Charlotte versus Rousey would be more of a a Mania thing, and you put like the 4-on-4 at SummerSlam, Survivor Series rules elimination style.
Is that because there's nothing really to fight for except for pride?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I can see that. Yeah.
Right. So, I don't. That's a big match I'd like to see. Going back to Asuka versus Shayna Baszler, that's one I'd definitely like to see.
All right.
Definitely be a good one, yeah.
Please, if anything, announce tag team titles already for the women.
Yeah, Stephanie commented on that, and she said that she definitely sees it coming in the future, but she doesn't know when yet.
I was truly sad when they didn't announce it, because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, we're gonna get a women's tag team tournament and crown new women's tag team champions.
Yeah,
They kind of missed a golden opportunity
they really did.
because you're bringing in history with this all women's pay-per-view, and that would have been another title match to add more beef to the pay-per-view.
Right.
I mean, granted, they have 4 matches that mean something between the Raw Women's, SmackDown Women's, NXT, and then Mae Young Classic Finals. Yeah. So, I mean, there's beef to it. But, man, why not go all in on it? And
you have to go all in on it because it's a Sunday night. The NFL has started back up, so you'll have Sunday Night Football. And at that same time, the MLB World Series is going on.
Yeah.
So you have to go big. You go big or go home, because you're competing against 2 other major sports.
Yeah.
One of them is the World Series.
Right.
So you're not
you don't even have to point out the World Series. I mean, NFL, that's all you got, the 3 letters you got to say.
I mean, unless you're a big fan. I'm not sure who plays that night of Sunday Night Football. But if it's not a team I want to watch, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Are we going to get together to watch it? I mean, I wouldn't mind getting together to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't mind either, but let's look at the card. And I think, if we want to get together, let's do it. So we've been talking about matches. I haven't given my matches yet. But, before I get into the matches, I want to see, are there any particular legends that you hope come back for this event? Pat, let's start with you.
Legends that come back. Well, one already announced that she was coming back, and Beth Phoenix, and she was one that I've always wanted to see come back again, and have a big time thing happen for her at this Evolution pay-per-view, all women's, and she deserves to come back to it. And other than that, whoever comes back, that's cool. But Beth Phoenix is awesome to me.
I did read. We're recording this on Sunday, so I did read on today, Sunday, that that Ember Moon would like to face Beth Phoenix. That's her dream match. So do we see Ember Moon versus Beth Phoenix?
It'd be a good match.
It wouldn't be a bad match.
It wouldn't be a bad match, no.
I would like to see that match, actually.
It would be.
I would put that.
Someone who said they don't want to come back is Gail Kim.
Gail Kim
already said she is not.
I don't blame her. Her WWE run was horrific.
Well, she said that if she ever has to go to the ring, that it'll be for Impact only.
Yeah.
So
because
that was
that's
a
her home.
slap in the face.
Well, that's her home.
What's her
Well,
whole?
yeah, I know,
and
but
that's where
still,
she succeeded
this
the
is-
most. I mean,
Yeah.
when she was with the WWE, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this because we were actually young at the time, but when she was starting to come to debut for the WWE, they had promo packages for her. It was like
Yeah.
the biggest signee for that time frame,
Mhm.
and it was a bust.
It was a big old bust because
It
they
was,
didn't know how to
yeah.
use her.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I don't really blame her for not wanting to come back, and she's staying true to her home. I mean,
I
She-
agree with that, but
She came in at the wrong time
yeah,
because this was back when divas were getting 3-minute matches,
yeah,
30-second matches,
yeah.
and she's one. She has to be on top to be perfect.
Yeah.
And when you're giving them 2, 3, 4-minute matches, and she's not the Divas champion at the time,
yeah,
she's not going to succeed very well.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Some matches I have a list, but I'll name only one or two.
We don't have all day.
I know. Time's ticking here. See, I have Trish Stratus actually going against Sasha Banks. Is a match I want to see, and the reason I say that is because if you guys remember back in the Women's Royal Rumble back in January, Trish and Sasha had a skit to where they were fighting, and Trish actually mocked Sasha doing her signature move with her hips and stuff. And I believe Sasha's the one that eliminated Trish as well. So you can move forward with that story-wise to get you invested. And we talked about Beth Phoenix. I have her against Nia.
Oh Lord.
Well, you got to think back when Beth Phoenix was around, she was the strongest woman in the women's division. Nia is the strongest one in the women's division now when it comes to strength. The dominating women's superstar. But here's one that's going to shock you guys. I want to see Ember Moon versus Lita.
Really?
Really.
I don't agree
Why?
with that.
I don't either. That just doesn't sound right to
The
me.
reason is because would I be upset if Ember Moon faced Beth Phoenix? No, it'd be a good match. But Lita was kind of the high flyer, crazy maneuver, and Ember Moon has some of that in her. You can tell by her in-ring style.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to dive through the ropes, go on the top rope. Of course, her finisher is the Eclipse from the top rope. So I don't know. I just think it'd be interesting to see because we saw Lita still likes to do backflips from the top rope.
Right.
So,
Right.
so yeah, I'd be intrigued by that match.
I don't think it'd be a bad match, but I wouldn't want to see it.
No, I'm with Pat on that one. I don't necessarily want to see it either.
Hey, you know what? This pay-per-view for me would be a success if Kelly shows up.
She very well might. She has expressed before that she is willing to get back into the WWE ring.
Yep.
So
Now,
maybe we'll see her.
I think James wants to see Summer Rae back.
No.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Oh, don't lie to us, James. You know you love Summer
sing
Rae.
to her song every night before you go to bed.
But to kind of wrap up this conversation, I have a match. I want to quick thoughts on this. I was thinking when I was prepping for this show, imagine this match. You're going to love this match.
I'm going to love this match.
Yes. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay tag teaming together.
Against.
Layla and Michelle McCool.
That wouldn't be a bad match.
I agree with that.
I would like to see that.
Because if you think about it, the Iconics are kind of like what Lay Cool was back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
I see it.
I wouldn't mind that match.
I definitely see it.
Absolutely. Add it, please.
Hey, we're on board, WWE. Make it happen.
Yeah,
And also,
please.
please get Kelly there from a
And the
Jacksonville
tag
native to
team
another.
championships.
That
they
too.
Need.
Yeah, that would be nice to see.
Yeah.
It would be. But speaking of nice to see, we also have unfortunately, we have some contracts coming up in the WWE.
Boy, that was a bad segue. That was a real bad segue.
All right, I'll cut it out. Hey.
No, you don't need to cut it out. That was a bad segue. We're going to leave it because you messed up.
Okay. Hey, who edits these things?
You do.
thank
We're
you.
leaving it in.
But we have some contracts coming up, and we have some contracts coming up within the WWE. Did you stop me?
No,
Okay.
you're good.
No.
So we have some contracts coming up in the WWE, and the big names that are coming up are AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the tag team of Gallows and Anderson. It's been expressed throughout the WWE world that New Japan has expressed interest in signing Shinsuke Nakamura when his contract expires I believe it's in February of January of next year. I don't think AJ Styles is going anywhere.
AJ's not going anywhere.
AJ's with the WWE till he retires. I personally believe that Shinsuke's not going anywhere either. However, I have unfortunate feelings that if you're gonna hate me for saying this, Raceland, but if things continue the way they are for Gallows and Anderson, I could see them going somewhere else. Because they haven't had a title reign since WrestleMania 33 when they entered the ladder match as champions. And they really aren't even on TV that much. So if things keep looking that way, I can see them leaving WWE.
Let me change your mind on that one, because they haven't even had a title match in a good long while. Like you said, they haven't been on TV in a while. But the tag team division is so thin right now, I don't think WWE would be willing to let them go, because it's so spread thin. It would hurt them to get rid of them. I think AJ's staying. I think Shinsuke will stay if they keep him happy. If they keep, a U.S. title on him or whatever, move him to Raw, let him feud over there with a couple of guys. Pat's shaking his head. No, you don't agree with that?
Nope, I don't agree with that.
You want to keep him on SmackDown?
No,
You want him to leave?
Pat wants everyone on SmackDown.
Okay,
I don't want to.
You want to go back to NXT because you said no for Raw and SmackDown.
We want to see a feud between Tyler Breeze and Shinsuke.
I see AJ staying. I see Gallows and Anderson staying. I see Shinsuke Nakamura dropping the U.S. title and going back to New Japan.
Really?
I do. I got that feeling. New Japan has expressed interest in him. I feel that he could probably do a lot more over at New Japan than he could over at WWE. Because right now he's just a mid-card title holder. I mean, over there he could be like the top guy.
He's like 38. He's getting to that age.
That's all the more reason for them to get him and make him the top guy for right now.
He wouldn't be the top guy. I can tell you that right now. He's not going to go back.
Maybe for one year.
He'll feud with some of the top guys. Like, he'll go back and feud with Okada and Omega. Yeah. But he's not going to be... He's more likely to be their Intercontinental Champion or their U.S. Champion when he goes back.
Maybe so, but I don't know. I still see him leave.
He's not past his prime, but he's on the trail end of it.
It's to the point where his gap is fastly closing as being a top guy.
But is WWE going to make something out of that, though, other than just a mid-card title?
I think eventually.
I don't think they do. I don't see them doing it.
Not right now. I think that if he re-signs for another 3 years, maybe they give him a world title shot. Because one match that people have been wanting to see for a while, ever since they actually that Shinsuke signed, is Shinsuke versus Lesnar. Fans have wanted to see that match. Me personally, I don't want to see it.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
Because, I mean, if you go back and look, and Brock's destroying guys like Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, I get it. Shinsuke's a whole different character. He's got mind games on him. But when you're big, bulky Brock Lesnar, there's not much mind game to play there. The mind games are Paul Heyman. Right. So, I mean, if you play mind games with Paul Heyman, getting ahead of Paul Heyman a little bit, maybe that throws Brock off his game a hair because his manager's not there, his mentor. But I wouldn't want to see it happen.
Look, I'm just saying, if The Undertaker couldn't get ahead of Brock Lesnar and beat Brock Lesnar, Shinsuke isn't getting ahead of
Brock Lesnar to me is this generation's Festus. If you remember who Festus was, Festus was the guy who was a slower character, who Luke Gallows was.
So, Rayson, I mean, do you see any of these guys leaving in the WWE in the near future?
No, I don't. No, I think they'd resign.
So let me ask you this, and I was reading, I guess, this morning I was reading this. Dolph Ziggler. It's rumored that his contract's coming up as well at the end of the summer.
His contract is always coming up is what it seems like.
But do you think he resigns, or...
I think he resigns.
You think he resigns?
I think if he was going to leave, he was going to do it a couple years ago.
Okay.
But I think he's staying. I think he's going to...
I agree with that. I think he keeps the title, he stays. Moving on now. Reigns versus Lesnar and Styles versus Joe. Now, we're going to get into a little bit what we think should happen with each of these matches, and starting with, of course, Reigns and Lesnar. Now, as much as I dislike Reigns, Lesnar is an awful champion. He's never there. I want Reigns to win because at least he's there. He'll defend the title, But all signs point to Lesnar still having the title, taking it to UFC, unfortunately, showing it off there, and hey, look what I did, and all that. And that's my prediction on it. I don't want to talk about that one anymore because I know what's going to happen. It'll just make me sad. So I'm going to move on to Styles.
I'll take over for you.
There you go.
On that. I don't want to see either of these guys win, but I think Pat's right. I think Lesnar wins it, takes it back to UFC. Like I said before, he's probably going to take it to the octagon with him, flash it off in the octagon, and then lose.
I don't think so.
You don't think he loses his UFC fight?
Really?
Or do you think he's going to lose it at SummerSlam?
I think he's dropping out of SummerSlam.
Really?
You think he's going to drop it to Reigns?
Wow.
No.
You think he's going to drop it to Kevin Owens?
Whoever has the Money in the Bank briefcase between Braun or Kevin is going to walk out SummerSlam as champion.
I don't see Kevin winning the Money in the briefcase.
I can, in a sense. It wouldn't make sense, though, because you pretty much built Braun to be this unstoppable character, and do you really want him to lose the briefcase and pretty much do nothing with his push?
Right, and he's got merchandise already. Monster in the bank.
That's he's holding.
Well, that doesn't mean
it doesn't
merchandise doesn't mean anything. I mean, look at how long AJ and Jericho were together. They had the Y2 AJ shirts, and they were
like a month.
After those came out, they were together for not even a month. Yeah, after they came out.
I did forget about that one.
Merch, you got to understand, that's WWE's way of cashing on the moment, and they successfully do every time. But and here's why I think that none of these guys will walk out as champion at SummerSlam. It's going to be the main event. Okay.
Oh yeah, because it's Roman Reigns.
Okay.
It's Roman Reigns.
It's Roman Reigns and Lesnar's going to be the main event. I think the fans are just going to rain down boring chants, boos.
They'll do countdowns again.
They're going to do I mean, you thought Extreme Rules was bad. I think
I thought Extreme Rules was awful.
It's going to be 15 times worse. I mean, this match at WrestleMania 34
I don't think
had
they'll do
horrible
countdowns
reactions.
and crap.
But it won't do countdowns. There's no clock to count down to.
They'll just boo. No, they'll just do their own countdown.
But here's the thing. This is Lesnar when didn't he main event SummerSlam a couple years ago when
against
him and Orton
and that match lasted like 2 minutes.
2 minutes and the crowd was livid. Yeah. I think this is your fans. Okay, who I'm trying to get at is fans booed at WrestleMania, your biggest event of the spring. Yep. Now you're at your biggest event of the summer. Are you gonna? I mean, you can't repeat yourself.
If fans boo again, that like we've talked about before, this Money in the Bank briefcase is a break the glass in case of fire type situation.
Well, guess what? The fire's here.
The fire's
better
starting.
Break the glass because it's going to happen. Because
they need to have Braun cash in if that is the case, which I think it will be.
Yeah, it has to be. It's just we've seen this too many times. This Reigns Lesnar match. We've seen it too many times.
Yes.
And here's my thing. So what? The 6 times a charm that Reigns finally gonna beat Lesnar? Are you kidding me?
No, it's just gonna repeat itself over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And how long until WWE gets it in their heads that this is not working?
Not until Vince McMahon steps down.
Exactly.
Because Vince is going to keep giving Brock these ironclad contracts where he doesn't have to show up for work, 3 months at a time, and Reigns is going to be the #1 guy.
See,
every single time.
But I guess my point is, if you wanted Reigns to have the title, you should have done it WrestleMania.
If not
the moment has gone and passed. The moment's gone and passed.
Yeah.
Okay. But the time has passed. All right. It's time to put the belt on. I don't care if it's Kevin Owens or Braun Strowman. I'll be happy for either, just as long as it's not one of these two.
I really hope it's Kevin Owens.
I disagree with you, but I agree with you, James. I disagree with Rayson. I do not think it's going to be Kevin Owens.
So let's move on to the SmackDown side of things. Pat, we'll start with you. AJ Styles against Samoa Joe. Who do you think? I mean, I know this is not the prediction show, so something might happen between now and then.
Well, right.
But are you happy with this match? I mean, I guess a lot of people already predicted this match way before the announcement. Are you happy with this match, and do you think it's time for Styles to drop the title at SummerSlam?
Well, I remember all three of us talking about it before this was even announced. We all knew that Samoa Joe was going to be announced for this match, and rightfully so. Samoa Joe is great, but I think AJ Styles is an amazing champ. I would love for him to break Lesnar's record, but I do see Samoa Joe winning against AJ Styles.
For me, I'm not
This is a hard one.
It is.
It's very hard.
Am I happy with this matchup? Not necessarily. Am I okay with it? Yes.
Really not happy?
It's not that I'm not happy. I'm okay with it. I'm in between.
So you're not mad, but you're not. You're just okay. It's here. It's happening.
It's okay. It's happening because I knew it was going to happen.
Right.
If it was a secret, okay, I'm happy that it's Samoa Joe.
Right.
But on the side of things where, Samoa Joe is a dominant competitor, dominant heel, AJ Styles might not break Lesnar's record, which I want to see. Like Pat said, I want to see it too.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Brock should have the longest reigning Universal Championship reign or any title reign for that matter, because he defends it twice every 6 months, every year, twice a year.
Yeah.
This is his first title defense.
It's definitely tainted.
April.
I can tell you that much.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely tainted.
So James, what is your predictions for this, and what would you like to see?
My heart says Styles, please.
There's a but coming, isn't there?
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna be honest. If there's anyone I want to see Styles drop it to, it's Samoa Joe.
Not me.
Well, I know you don't.
Because I wanted to see it on Andrade.
I know you do. And I stated in the last episode when Rayson said I was butt kissing Samoa Joe, but
good thing you remember that because I don't.
Oh yeah, I do.
Really?
Remember
Remember that?
No, I don't remember what I did 3 days ago, man.
That was well, that's understandable.
Yeah, I think Joe needs a title. I mean, he's been on the main roster for almost over 2 years, going on 2 years here soon, and he has 0 title reigns. So I think it's time for Joe to get a title. Unfortunately, it has to come to Styles against Styles here. But I mean, I wouldn't mind it. It's going to be a heel champion on SmackDown, which is we haven't had in over 400 days, I believe. No, 200 days. It's been a long time.
For what?
Styles title reign's been on for a while.
Oh
It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah,
It's been about 200 some. Yeah, you might be right. 200 some days.
Some odd days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's time for a heel champion.
Is it 200 or is it no? I think it's actually surpassed 300.
What really got me ready for this match was obviously Samoa Joe attacking from behind, and then when Paige was kicking Ellsworth out of the arena.
Right. Oh yeah, let's applaud her real quick.
But the what Samoa Joe said to Paige backstage was how like what she had planned was pedestrian. That just got me like that was a good promo.
Yep.
That was a really good promo.
I agree.
But yeah.
As of the last update, it was 264 days.
Okay.
When was the last update?
Let's give me a second. Let me see. 4 days ago.
Okay.
So we're 268 plus.
So it's been that long since we had a heel champion on SmackDown as heel WWE champion on SmackDown. I think it's time.
Who was champion for? I just closed out the page. Who was champion for Styles? Let's see. Do we know off the top of our heads? Before I get there.
Man.
Yes, Jinder.
It was Jinder, wasn't
Jinder.
it?
Jinder was. He held it for 170 days.
Yeah.
Boy,
That's still very forgettable.
But yeah, it's time for a heel champion other than Jinder.
Other than Jinder, yeah.
Right. It definitely. It would. The big heel right now is Samoa Joe, so it has to go to him.
Yeah.
I don't think it could. It's too early to go to Andrade.
Yeah.
And there's no really cemented heel other than Joe and Shinsuke, and Shinsuke's not gonna go for the title again. We've seen it 2
he's
times.
already got a title right now. He's done with that.
Anyway, speaking of possible matches of the night on the IC Championship, right now, from what I've read, I can't remember where the source was from, but from what I've read, the IC Championship match could be potentially changing, and it no longer be a one-on-one. If it is no longer a one-on-one, who would you like to see added to the match with Rollins and Ziggler? James?
All right, I got one name, Elias.
You think Elias?
Yeah, and I hope this is true. I hope the rumor that you've been reading is true. I don't want another Rollins Ziggler match. I thought the last one in the Iron Man match was boring, personally. And even the matches before that I thought were meh. It's predictable. Drew McIntyre's going to interfere. But yeah, I think it's time for Elias to get put in a title match of this sort. I don't think he should win it. What I'm thinking is maybe have it to where Rollins can pin Elias to keep Ziggler's high up, keep him and Drew relevant, and have Rollins recapture the Intercontinental Championship.
Pat?
Well, I got 3 names that I would like to see.
Well, I said 1, but
I know,
okay.
but I got 3 just in case.
Okay.
1 would definitely be Elias, like you said. The other one, Finn Balor. I think he's earned the right to be there.
Okay. I can see it.
Yeah. This next one, it's very, very, very doubtful. I don't know why I even put it, because I don't know if he's healthy enough. But Dean Ambrose.
No, probably not.
I want him to, like, at least make an appearance with it. Like, interfere or something. And then
I
help.
can see that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, help Seth Rollins get it back, maybe.
Or
and do what Drew McIntyre is doing with Dolph.
Or cost him.
Because
it's rumored he's coming back as a heel.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't hear that.
That's what I was.
No, I did not hear that. No.
I had that in mind as well. Like maybe Rollins hits the curb stomp, and then right as the referees going for the count, 1, 2, music hits.
That's
Awesome.
what
That could see.
I don't like
ready
it.
for Ambrose to just return.
I don't like it because, and for this fact only, because I hate when a referee is counting and someone's music hits and the referee stops the count. If the guy doesn't pop up off the pin, continue counting. Because there have been times where I've seen guys that will stay on the pin for an extra second or 2, and the referee will stop counting and look at the entrance ramp.
Yeah,
it's like, ooh, music.
Yeah, ooh, flashy lights.
And it's the same thing. If you're the wrestler that is pinning and you do pop up, why are you popping up to? I mean, wait an extra second to pop up to get the victory, and then you can be prepared.
Yeah, like wait until after. Oh, okay, he broke the 2 count, and then the music plays. Do that. That would be fine.
Yeah.
All right, Raceland, who do you want to see in this match? If it is
It's a long shot, but Drew McIntyre. It's about time to give that man a push.
See, I don't see that because he's still in good with Dolph Ziggler.
Well,
I can see
like,
it if
that's
he
my
went against
problem.
Dolph Ziggler.
Well,
but
here's the thing. Like we talked about earlier, if Ziggler's contract truly is up in the summer, what do you do with Drew McIntyre?
turn him against Dolph.
That's what I'm saying. Turn him against Dolph and have him be that 3rd member in a triple threat match.
If that is the case, then yes, it would make sense.
If Dolph Ziggler's contract does come up in the summer and he doesn't sign a full-time contract, he does a part-time, and he goes away for a little while, make it Drew McIntyre. I don't care. He doesn't have to win. I'd like to see him win. I don't think he will. I think it's going to go to Seth.
I do too.
If it is true that his contract is up.
Right.
But
Yeah, I would love it if it's Drew because on our first maybe it was our first or second episode on the show, I was really hoping that Drew McIntyre was the one to win the title. Drew needs it more than Dolph. Personally, I think Drew McIntyre, he had a really good reign at NXT. Then he got hurt, dropped the title to Bobby Roode. I think he probably needed it more coming onto the main roster than Dolph Ziggler did.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely more deserving than Dolph Ziggler at this point in time.
yeah, especially, again, I keep saying it, if his contract is coming up, why don't just take his title off of him? Yeah. Give it to someone else, like we said, more deserving. I don't see where they go from this if Dolph Ziggler does win. I really don't see it. If you make Dolph Ziggler the champion, if he's still champion after SummerSlam, they're going to have to make a new feud.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a new one. Right now, I don't know who it could possibly even be. I don't have any names of who it could be.
Me neither.
If you make a Drew McIntyre, you could go Seth Rollins for another round or 2 against just Drew McIntyre. If you put it on Rollins, you could make Ambrose come back and challenge for the title. There are opportunities for both McIntyre and Rollins, but for Ziggler, I just don't know where they'd go.
Me neither. I think it's time for Ziggler to drop the title and just kind of go off the television for a little bit.
All right, and now moving on to Rusev Day. And is it over with Aiden? After 2 losing efforts, that's awful. I understand what Aiden was trying to do. He was trying to help, but he did get in the way. And from Rusev's perspective, it looked like he was trying to essentially cause him the matches. And I understand where Rusev is coming from, but also I understand where Aiden's coming from. He's trying to help, trying to get on Rusev's good side. Rusev is seeing a different side of it, because every time he has his back turned, it looks like he is getting screwed over by Aiden. I think they're on... I'm getting Sasha Bailey vibes right now. I know you're looking at me like, what? But let me explain. The reason that I'm getting Sasha Bailey vibes right now is because every time that Bailey had her back turned, it looked like Sasha was trying to screw her over. When in turns, it looked like, or rather, Sasha was actually trying to help Bailey, but she just got in the way. So it looked to me as if they're trying to do this again with Aiden and Rusev. But I think overall, at the end of the day, Rusev and Lana are going to forgive Aiden. They're going to give him another chance, and I think it'll be okay. Yeah, James, what is your standpoint on this?
Rusev Day is not over. I don't think it. Rusev is never going to fly solo. I got news for everybody. He's never going to do it. I'm not an inside source or nothing.
Well, when I was creating the template for, I didn't really mean
I'm not pointing you
solo.
out.
I just meant like go back to doing with.
I'm
like,
not even pointing you out as a template. About the template is I've been reading online. You know, what I do is I go on Twitter and type in WWE and I look at what other people are thinking, and a lot of people think he's going to go solo. I had this thought before you even sent us the template Saturday night. But I think what's going to happen is I think it's going to be a Rusev Aiden English feud coming up. I think it's going to go back to when Rusev debuted. Lana's going to be the manager of Rusev, and it's going to be a feud against Aiden. Rusev's going to go over, and then WWE is going to take over from there and probably, hopefully, push him to a mid card. Yeah, I just don't. I don't want Aiden to be kicked out of Rusev Day because he makes it what it is.
Right.
But
the singing in the beginning of Rusev Day.
Yeah, I missed that Tuesday.
Right. James, I disagree with you. I think I'm going with Pat. They forgive Aiden English because Rusev Day is too much of a cash cow right now when it comes to merch. People are still buying Rusev Day shirts. People are buying Lana Day shirts.
Yep, that's taken off really well.
Oh, yeah.
Lana Day, yeah.
People are still buying these shirts. It's too much of a cash cow to give up right in the middle of a big money bag bring in.
Yeah.
So I think like Pat said, they forgive Aiden, bring him back in, give him another chance. I think whoever Rusev feuds with at SummerSlam, if he has a feud at SummerSlam, I think Aiden helps him win, and that's how he kind of gets back together. Yeah. I don't think they'll stay together long after that, but for the time being, at least until Survivor Series, they'll be together.
Right.
Yeah. So. And timing is, I mean, you can, if you're a person that's saying, well, I think they're going to forgive Aiden English like you two are, you can also make the argument that timing isn't right. I mean, that's not a SummerSlam quality match.
No.
It's not a Survivor Series match either. So if you're a person that is on that train, then that's a side you can defend as well.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so we're running low on time, so we're going to jump right into final thoughts for the week. My final thought for the week definitely has to be on WWE as a front office, because if you think about it, think about this. Would you want to lose Shinsuke Nakamura, the club, and AJ Styles? Obviously, they're going to re-sign AJ. AJ's going to re-sign. The person that they need to really think about is Shinsuke, especially if New Japan is showing that much interest that they're saying 4-5 months out that they're really interested in bringing him back because he's a bigger name now. He's one you've got to really focus on, make him happy enough to re-sign. At least another 2-3 year contract, if not longer. I don't think Shinsuke is going to finish his career in WWE, but sign him for a couple more years. Let him make a bigger name for himself, and then he'll go retire at New Japan when he's good and ready. I don't think he will right now because, like I said earlier, he's in the prime of his career, or he's tailing off in the prime. But who knows how long this tail end is going to run off to. It could be another 5, 6, 7 years down the road where he's still at the very end of his prime.
Yeah.
And he could go on a little while after that. I don't think he's going to wrestle another 10 years, but it would definitely be smart of WWE to try and re-sign. AJ is not the biggest one they need to worry about re-signing. It's Shinsuke, because they know AJ is going to re-sign. He's waited for this pretty much his entire career.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to re-sign. He's happy with where he's at as a champion. They need to worry about signing Shinsuke again if they want to bring him back in. Pat, final thought for the week.
Final thought for the week is, once again, the Women's Tag Team Championships. I really want to see it. They missed their golden opportunity, like James said, that Monday Night Raw when they unveiled the all-women's pay-per-view. They should have announced the Tag Team Championships to go along with it. It made perfect sense. A lot of people rumored it. Like a lot of websites online were all signs pointed to this happening, and it didn't. And I feel like it was a big letdown. Not to say that the women's pay-per-view isn't any good. They needed that. That's awesome for them. But the tag team titles would have. It would have. I don't know.
Would have pushed it over the edge for you.
Right? Yeah, it would have made it a lot more interesting.
Add more beef to it.
Add more beef to it. Correct. Yeah, and there's so much they could have done with it. So many tag teams. Wasted opportunity. Make it happen. James.
All right, James. You've been teasing this big. You're going to get upset over this. We're going to debate on it for a minute or two, maybe even 5.
I'm ready for it.
James, what's your final thought?
Mine has to do with SummerSlam.
Okay.
And it's not Reigns and Lesnar. It's the stupid poster. Have you guys seen the poster?
I have not.
I have not.
You want to take a look at this bogus piece of baloney poster?
We'll do it later.
No, I got it on my phone. This is some bull
crap.
crap.
Right now. Let's see it.
All right, look. Let me arrange this. This is it. This is it. That's all it is.
James is getting loud.
That's all it is.
James is getting really loud.
Last time I checked, there's more to the roster than Ronda Rousey and Roman Reigns and Alexa Bliss and Brock Lesnar. Oh, by the way, they're on the same freaking brand.
I know.
This is SummerSlam.
I like how they're all poking around the corner like, hey, it's me.
This is SummerSlam. Not Summer Raw, Slam Raw, Raw SummerSlam. What is this? Add more people to the freaking poster.
Let me ask you, when was this poster created?
Last week.
Okay.
I was going to say it had to have been.
That doesn't stop them for WrestleMania, but it come out 4 months in advance.
Okay. Listen to this though.
What is this?
Listen to this. Okay, so let me see the poster again.
Here you go.
This was just this past week.
So it's got
Look at that abomination.
No, I see it.
It's bad.
That's a poster from last week. What were the only 2 matches announced for probably that time last week? Those 2 matches.
It's on the Twitter page.
Okay,
well, give me a break.
Why make that poster right now, though? Why not wait?
Because it's WWE. They can do whatever they want.
I understand that, but why not make a big poster with all the matches?
Because
and
they don't know what
surprises?
the matches are. That's my point. They don't know what any of these.
That's what I mean.
Look,
like, wait for it.
All I'm saying is this: they don't know what the matches are half the time going in WrestleMania.
This is true.
And guess what? The whole roster's on that thing. Okay.
Because it's WrestleMania.
It's WrestleMania. I get it, but this is just as big. You even heard AJ Styles say SummerSlam is like WrestleMania with the heat turned up. This is Summer's version of WrestleMania. Whether we like it or not, whether you say it or not, it's WrestleMania.
It's the biggest event.
And a step down is SummerSlam. Right. Okay.
You're heated.
I am heated because guess what? Braun Strowman just got announced Monday. Where is he at? Kevin Owens is on there. Where is he at? Oh, by the way, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. Where is it at? I mean, Becky Lynch, Carmella. Why aren't they on there?
Yeah, because
they're taking forever to do it. They're taking forever to make it. I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's WWE. They take forever to do anything.
I hope so, but I hope it is. But the fact of the matter, I mean, okay, I understand they're taking. Rayson, let's say your point is right, and they are taking forever. They're going to change it. Everything is good in the world of James, in the world of wrestling. Roman is still going to be front row center right next to Brock. I just have a problem with this because
We know where their emphasis is now.
Okay.
We know where it is.
I want you to take a look at this. This is the poster for Wrestle Kingdom 11, New Japan's WrestleMania. Take a look at that. How many superstars are there?
There is a total of 8.
8. Do you think 8 superstars competed at Wrestle Kingdom? No.
They got 4.
We got 4.
That was their final product, though. That was their final poster. That's not going to be the final poster. I'm telling you that right now.
Raceland. As
be.
much as you're saying that,
it could
be a WWE move. Heck,
it would be a
we all
WWE
know the
move to just
WWE
leave
very
those
well.
4 on there and not change it.
Right.
But I think they'll change it.
That's bad.
I hope they change it. I hope they do.
Too.
I hope you're right. But my problem is this: this poster came out. I believe it was after Tuesday.
It was after Tuesday.
There were SmackDown matches announced.
Yeah, Becky Carmella.
But when you say last week, I'm thinking like before Raw and SmackDown.
No. This was after Raw. This was after SmackDown.
That's bad because you know they're going to be focusing all their energy and time into those matches because obviously it's more important than anything to them.
Exactly. If it would have been like 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't be so heated up.
That's fine.
But the fact that it's been 6 matches, actually more than that, have been announced for this.
Yeah.
And
That's bad.
Don't get me wrong. Reigns Lesnar should be on the poster. Alexa Rousey should be on the poster.
But add more people.
Exactly. Add more people, and you gotta have a balance. I mean, it's
only
there's 4 Raw.
Only Raw is on that poster.
And guess what?
SmackDown is just you're
and
not
guess
involved.
what? Those 2 matches have a chance to be the worst of the night.
If WWE does their typical thing, yes, it could be the worst of the night. I see Ronda and Alexa being really short, and unfortunately Roman and Lesnar being really long, and everybody booing, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
I just really hope that Braun cashes in that night because that'd be better for everybody.
But all I'm saying is this:
You had a good point with the post.
if this is the wrestling you're playing defense here of WWE, I hope you're right. But if this is the final poster, that's blasphemous. That's blasphemous.
We've got what? We've got just under a month until Mania. Or no, yeah, Mania. God
wow.
damn. Time's gone by fast. We're about less than a month away from SummerSlam.
About 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks. Yeah.
About probably 4 Sundays. Well, 4 weeks from the day we record
let's
this.
look right now, shall we?
Yeah, well, we're on the topic.
Because it's Sunday,
so
the last Sunday of July.
Are we counting today because it's not over yet? I'd say yes because it's
Let's
not
count
even,
today.
because it's not even. It's
How
not
many
even,
weeks from today?
from today? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 26th. No, 3. 3 weeks.
3 weeks from today.
3 weeks from today. 'cause
And that's
it's
all they
Mania.
have.
Yeah. It'll
it.
change. They've got 3 weeks. It'll change.
It better change. If
Trust me.
not, I hear another rant coming from old James over here.
Well, that rant had better not come until after SummerSlam, or at least before SummerSlam.
It'll be the
SummerSlam
weekend
predictions.
before. I guarantee you, if they don't come up with a new poster, they come up the week before from this guy to my right.
Well, here's the thing. I usually don't get mad about the pay-per-view covers because there have been pay-per-view at times back in the mid 2000s, late 2000s. It'd be one person.
Yeah,
I get it.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you about the one with Santino. Big old front, not really front and center, but he was big. He was playing what, like a magician character or something? Because it was like what, for Hell in a Cell or something? Santino Marella was a magician. I'll show you guys later.
Okay.
Santino Marella was like, not a magician, but a psychic. Because he had like a crystal ball and he had a hat on or something. He was a psychic for whatever pay-per-view it was. Big old front, not center, but he was big in the top. Biggest guy on the poster, Santino Marella, with a bunch of people below him. Would you have a problem with that one?
No.
Why wouldn't you have a problem with that one?
You catch your last sentence.
Because it had
Many
people at the bottom
below him. There's 4 people.
Okay, I see where both of you are coming with it.
Okay, so this is okay. Let's look back at the WrestleMania 33 poster.
Oh Lord,
I don't remember what it looked like.
The front row was big, and then it got smaller as you went back, and to the point where you almost need a magnifying glass to find your favorite superstar.
Again, but that's Mania.
Mania is the biggest event of WWE, correct?
Yes, right.
Okay, what's second?
Royal Rumble, in my opinion.
Okay, opinionated, but according to WWE, what is their second biggest?
Okay,
I'd say SummerSlam.
One sec. I'm going back to 2017 SummerSlam poster, okay?
Oh, I gotta see this.
I'm going back to 2017. There is more than 4. I ran out of time to count.
More than 4 people.
There's a lot more than 4. It looks like
there's 10. There's 10.
There's 6. He mouthed to like 8, and I lost him.
I can't
and he stopped.
count.
I saw him mouth 8 and then lost it.
Okay,
Right.
but here's the good thing about this poster. Okay, you have obviously the main event of that was Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, Lesnar, if I recall correctly.
I don't remember. Probably.
Yeah.
Are they at the top? Probably.
Yep, it was.
No, it was.
It was Reigns, Lesnar, and Braun. Because
Was it the
I
Fatal
remember-
5-Way?
It had to have been Reigns.
It was a
Lesnar,
fatal
and Braun.
5-way.
Fatal 5-way last
So you
year.
have the big picture right there. Bam. Okay, but then you had the WWE champion at the time. You have John Cena, Shinsuke Nakamura, and then you got your 4 women's division.
Yeah,
that's fine with me. It doesn't. I'm not saying the poster should have everybody on the card in the poster.
Right.
But
that's
my thing. You should have the WWE title, which is AJ Samoa, Joe, Universal, Reigns, Lesnar, and your 2 women's titles. That's all you need.
Okay, let's look at this one. I typed in Google bad WWE posters. A poster for Money in the Bank is on the cover of a Money in the Bank poster is Big Show and Hornswoggle.
I gotta see this.
Okay,
Are you not mad at that one?
I'm mad at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand
but here's
that.
the thing.
Because we're mad at that
Okay,
one,
but
doesn't mean we're mad at this one.
to my opinion, I can go off of that and still be consistent. Those are 2 people.
All right. So
At
then
least
let
we
me
got
ask you
4
this.
here.
Here's another one. New Year's Revolution. Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Are you mad at that one?
Yes.
Because there's 2 people?
Yes.
You're full of crap.
Yeah.
But here's another. Okay. But here's another thing though. Those aren't major pay-per-views. Those are not the big 4.
Money in the Bank can be considered a big pay-per-view. Not back then, but
But they're
now,
not
yeah.
considered a big 4. Money Bank, I agree, should be one of the big 4. I agree.
Okay, here it is. I was right, but I was partially wrong. It was a Royal Rumble that Santino Marella was the psychic. Look at that picture.
Okay, I can't
Look
see
at that
from,
picture. Are you blind? Wear some glasses.
I know.
Put some
probably-
contacts in.
I hate this poster.
Of course you
Hate
do.
it. Hate it. You know why? Because you have Santino Marella looking like,
He's a psychic.
and
It looks like I'm looking at a Goosebumps book.
but
That was good.
It looks like a Goosebumps book.
but where's the other superstars? I don't see
Exactly.
In the crystal ball.
Can I
it. You
bring
can't
up?
hardly see it.
So,
But my
True,
thing is,
but-
I don't like that poster. It's a Royal Rumble Big 4 with 1 major guy, and he's not even a top guy. He wasn't even a top guy in the company.
I know something that aggravate you even more.
What?
Since 2014 to now, Brock Lesnar has been on every one of SummerSlam's covers in front.
That doesn't bother me.
It bothers
Okay.
me.
It doesn't bother
Here's
me. He's a
That
big name
bothers
draw.
me. No, still.
He's a big
that
name
bothers
draw.
me. He doesn't
How
show
many-
up. He does
how- okay,
not
how many-
deserve to be on.
Well, that's like Undertaker.
How many people do you think should be on the SummerSlam poster?
I told
At
you.
least-
I
I
told
wasn't paying
you.
attention.
Okay.
At least
If-
7.
Here's what I don't like I said earlier. I don't want the whole roster on it. Okay, I don't want everyone who's on the card on the
Then that just throws
poster.
out my
No.
argument.
Okay, what I said was, here's what should be on the poster:
The good
the
matches.
WWE
Okay.
Championship,
I've got
the
one for you.
Universal Championship, Raw and SmackDown Women's titles. 4 matches. Put those matches on the card. Those are your big matches.
You're gonna hate me for this one,
What one?
but this was a poster for SummerSlam 2 years ago.
Let me see it.
Brock Lesnar and Undertaker,
Yep.
2 people. Your
Yep.
favorite wrestler, Brock
Okay.
Lesnar.
Okay, see?
Your favorite wrestler, The Undertaker. 2 men. Tell me, do you hate that poster? And if you say yes,
Okay, I love it because of the Undertaker.
okay, no, that's not my question.
But no,
Bias.
let me finish.
That's not my
let
question.
me finish.
That's not my question.
Let me finish.
This is a courtroom. Answer the
this is-
question.
Hey, let me. Okay.
I remember that. Okay, yeah.
Do I love the?
Do
I
you
like
hate the poster? Yes or no?
Yes.
You hate the poster.
to represent the event
Okay.
from a fan
At least he's
standpoint.
consistent.
From the
Yeah.
fan point of the Undertaker, I like it, but to represent the event, I don't like it. I don't like that one of your biggest event. You're promoting it as to. I understand Undertaker is the greatest of all time. Big
Well,
draw.
up to you anyway.
Well,
One of.
okay, my opinion. I'm trying to defend my standpoint here. Okay, Undertaker and Lesnar, both big name draws. Especially at that time, it was one of the best feuds going on at that SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But I don't like it when you put a major pay-per-view and you promote it with just 2 guys. I don't like it. This isn't the UFC.
2 guys, 4 guys.
Yeah.
Too little.
I understand if you're the UFC, you do it because that's your main event. That's what everyone's paying to see. You're not just paying to see, most of the time, you're not just paying to see one match. No. And that's my problem with this.
If you do, you got a problem.
You should have your big matches on there. And this SummerSlam, it's the 4 I just listed earlier in the show. And so I can go on all day about this. All right. Like you said, Raceland, it's 3 weeks away. It can change. I get it. But if that's the finalized poster, if we're coming up, if SummerSlam is passed and that's what we got, I'm a little upset about that.
I'm with you on that one. If we come up to SummerSlam and it's not changed, I'm gonna be upset with you.
Yeah. Yep. And it's because it's not even the fact that it's the Roman Reigns is on it or Brock Lesnar's on it or it's Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss. I'm fine with them being on it.
Yeah, but they're not recognizing other talents.
They're not recognizing a whole brand.
Exactly.
Where's the other brand?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
They need to fix that.
Yeah, and I hope they do fix it. If not, I can see a rant coming in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for listening this week. I'm Raceland alongside Pat and James. Thank you for listening. Have a good rest of the day.